So on October 1st at 12:01 a.m., the U.S. government shut down. And everyone knew it would be a long time, but now it's heading for the record books and barreling toward the holidays. So my next guest, recently voted against the continuing resolution, citing the addition of $2 trillion to the deficit, but supports a bill that would specifically give federal workers pay. I want to bring in now Republican Senator from Kentucky, Rand Paul. Senator Paul, thanks for joining me. So where do things stand at this moment? I mean, what do you think it will ultimately take to get the government reopened?
You know, the main argument by the Democrats is that they want these expanded subsidies for Obamacare. So it's important for people to know what that means. So if you make $225,000 a year, the expanded Obamacare subsidies give you $1,500. If you make $100,000 a year, they give you $13,000. So there's a certain amount of irony here that during the shutdown, some people may not get food stamps, but some people who make $100,000 a year, the government's being closed in order to get them a $13,000 subsidy. So something's bizarre here. The other bizarre notion here is that the spending levels they're voting on are the Biden spending levels from December of last year. Every Democrat in the Senate voted for these in December of last year. Now they're voting against something they've already voted for previously. So it's a bizarre conundrum that it goes on. But I think it's going to end this week. I think the Democrats are going to get a vote on these expanded Obamacare subsidies. I think the vote will fail, and then they'll vote to reopen the government.
Yeah, you call it bizarre. I think it's sort of despicable considering that the only ace in the hole for them is that maybe they win the war of public opinion, and that wouldn't last really long, I don't think.
Well, even the public opinion, I'm not sure why they should win it, because they're holding the government hostage for subsidies for rich people. These aren't even subsidies or gifts or grants for poor people. They're subsidies for rich people. Nobody making $225,000 a year should be getting any money from government. And the fact that the Democrats are now the champion for subsidies and grants for rich people shows you kind of how out of touch they actually are.
Yeah, we saw a lot of this under the Biden administration, the college stuff. It's just on and on and on. Almost everything that was done for folks who are doing extraordinarily well or positioned in life to do extraordinarily well. The focus, of course, now is on SNAP. It's one of those issues where, again, public opinion, the Republicans generally get raked over the coals, for being cold-hearted. You are saying, no, this is the prime time to make some major reforms.
Yeah, what I've been saying is, why don't we fund food stamps at 94% of what we spent last year? That would be a 6% cut. If we did that across the board to every program, we'd balance the budget in 6 years or 5 years. But then at the same time, why don't we get rid of unhealthy food? I see no reason why the taxpayers should be paying for soda pop, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, full sugar drinks. There's no reason the government should be paying for that. Chips, Twinkies, ding-dongs, donuts, the government shouldn't be paying for that. So let's start getting rid of the unhealthy food and see if we can actually make America healthy again. Yeah,
the first food stamp program actually had orange stamps and blue stamps, and stamps were specifically for food to feed your family, not this kind of stuff. You also made headlines here recently on Social Security reform. They've been raking you over the coals on social media on this one. What do you want? You want a retirement to start at 70?
I'll tell you what I don't want is the money to run out where everybody gets a 25% cut in 2034. If we do no reform, when it runs out, we bring in about enough to give everybody 75% of what they're getting. That will be a disaster. And I've told people you can fix it one of a couple of ways. If you want to have a 25% payroll tax compared to the 15% payroll tax, you could do that, but that's going to dig into everyone's paycheck. Or you could gradually raise the age of eligibility. This is what we did in 1983. We raised it from 65 to 67. It's not that I'm jumping up and down to do this. I don't like old people. I aspire to be an old person. I want it to be there for me, but the only way it's going to be there is you're going to have to let the age go up or dramatically raise the taxes. I would rather not raise the taxes and actually let the age go up a little bit. And I'm also for means testing as a means of fixing it.
Right.
People like you and I are going to have to get a little bit less, just out of money. I mean, we got to do something.
No, I agree. Listen, if I can keep going on the track I'm going on now, I'll forego mine. I got less than a minute to go, Senator, but I've got to ask you about the Federal Reserve. Last time you and I talked, I said we should blow it up and put it back together. I think I caught you off guard. But this is a great time to rejigger a Federal Reserve if we're going to have one that's aimed at Main Street, not Wall Street. Can Congress do something about this?
First thing we ought to do is audit it, but I also have a bill to have them quit paying interest on reserves. Right now, $188 billion is going to about 5 banks in New York and going to a few banks overseas. The biggest banks in the world get interest on reserves. They should loan that money out and do the job that banks do, which would be good for the economy, to not have it sitting and parked at the Fed, but actually loaning it out to people and businesses.
That would be phenomenal. That'd be a great first step. Senator Paul, as usual, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.